Hi everybody, it's Thursday. Have I got a tip for you? Fortunately, we're still not doing gardening updates, but I've got a thrifty tip for you today, and we've had a few problems in the chicken coop that maybe you can learn from, because I don't try to portray myself as knowing everything. I actually make a lot of mistakes and sometimes hope someone else could learn from them. So let me take you out and show you what's been going on in my chicken coops. Do you hear that? That is a hen with a problem. Okay, so what do you do in a case like this? The first thing I did was get her away from all the rest of the chickens. So I've got her in a corner of the garage in a dog crate. So she's isolated. I'm kind of looking in her throat. I don't see anything going on. I don't know. The next thing I'm going to do is try to get her to eat and drink. So I have scrambled up some eggs for her, and I put the supplement Nutri-Drench in, and she gobbled that down. So now I got some more scrambled egg and put some Poultry Cell. It's a poultry vitamin. So I've got that kind of soaking in that solution with some water to get some liquid and food into her before I do anything else. Okay, the good news is she's eating, but she does not sound good at all. Okay, my next step is to try some Vet RX, and I already have that warming up inside. Okay, it's Wednesday morning, and she sounds great. This morning she was cackling around in here, making all kinds of racket. I hardly hear a rattle out of her. So in just a couple days, she seems to be okay. Now the question remains as to what did she have, because now I have a few other sick chickens in that coop. So the hard questions become, what do you want to do with something you don't know what it is? And, you know, a lot of times people will call out an entire flock because some of this stuff lays dormant and causes your flock to be a carrier of this and could make other birds sick even though they don't look sick. So, you know, sometimes it comes down to hard choices. You can also treat your flock and, you know, go forward, see what it was. I'm not seeing any funny eggshells, so I know bronchitis is one. The infectious bronchitis is one that causes funny eggshells, which I'm not seeing out there. But I'm happy to say that this one looks fully recovered. So with that little Vet RX is all that I gave her. That doesn't mean that would always work, but this time it did a great job, and I don't know if that was even instrumental in helping her get well or if it was a coincidence, but either way, you heard how badly she sounded 3 days ago, and now she's fine, because I thought we might have to call her because she had some, you know, horrible, deadly disease. I've been through this door probably 50 times this morning, and these cats keep trying to trip me every single time. So if you don't hear from me again, it could be because I am tripped by a cat. Okay, here is the coop that chicken came out of. Can you hear the gurgling and the rattling? We've got coughing. Hear it? So whatever it is spreading through this coop pretty quickly. I'm going to keep treating them all because I took the other hen in on quarantine. I obviously am not going to be able to quarantine this entire coop. And I'm going to show you the easy way when you have to wrangle around a bunch of crazy chickens and try to put Vet RX on their nostrils. If you did things like I did when I first had chickens, this may be like the tip that changes your life. Okay, you ready for the thrifty tip? The thrifty tip is time will tell. Hopefully you're not buying things on credit, or this won't apply to you. But if you're not buying things on credit and you're trying to be debt-free, this will be a great tip. I learned once that it's a great habit to get into to write things down that you want to buy and then wait 30 days and see if you still want to buy them after that time. And it's something that I try to do. And it's amazing how many times you forget about something that you absolutely had to have And in 30 days, you might completely forget about it. And often what I do is I forget to look at my list, and it'll be like months later, and I'm like, why in the world did I ever even want that? But if I were just running out and buying it when it was the greatest thing that I had ever heard of, I'd have all kinds of stuff and have spent all kinds of money on things that didn't matter in the end. So I was just recently looking at my list when I wrote an Instant Pot down because I'm thinking about getting one of those. Which reminds me, do you guys have them? What do you think? Do you actually use them? I know a lot of people say they changed their lives, but I'm not sure. Is it just going to sit in my cupboard? So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me mention, this is not for things you already have. For instance, if my vacuum cleaner breaks tomorrow, I already have that. I know I use it, so I just go buy that. But this is for new things that you might want. Like the next thing I'm going to put on my list is a kayak with holes drilled in the bottom, like an open top one, so that I can use that on days at the beach where it's a little surfy, so that my other one doesn't fill in. So that's something I need to wait really at least 30 days to see if I really need it and really need to spend the money on it. Okay, if you're still with me at this point, I told you I'd show you the easy way to treat your chickens if they need something done with them. So let's go see how that is. This is something that pretty much changed my life with chickens after wrestling with them during the day. It's evening, and I talked about the tip of doing their medicine because with this Vet RX, I need to get it on their nostrils, some under their wings, and a lot of these guys are not used to being handled, so it's not going to go well. But notice where they're at. They're on a roost. So if you ever want to get one of your chickens to examine it or check for lice and mites, when the light is off, especially when it's dark. It's not dark right now, so it's not the same. But they're just right there. Like here's one, and you can just go right down the line and kind of use a headlamp, which I always do. Make sure it's dark and come in and they're very calm. You can pretty much do what you want and examine them without too much of a fuss. So I'll be back out when it's dark with the Vet RX. As I said before, I don't know if the Vet RX actually does anything or it's just coincidence, but I can't just stand by and do nothing. So I'll be back.